Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Whitley Theriault and I am the founder of Skyple. Skyple is a safe and supportive community for women who want to grow personally, professionally, and profitably. So we're here today with another Skyple talk, and we're here to talk about how you can leverage Facebook to grow your business. So this talk is going to be really, really good for anyone who's running a business or anyone who's actually using the Facebook platform to grow their audience or their following. So we have Erica Waddell, who will be joining us here momentarily. I just want to give everybody a chance to kind of jump on here, and I'm going to go and actually share this video into the Skyple Network Community Facebook group so that we can reach all of our other female entrepreneurs out there. So if you guys just wait with me just for a moment. If anyone's signing on and you know of anyone who will benefit from this talk, please feel free to go ahead and share, invite, or tag them here in the comments of the video. So we're pretty excited about this. I have been getting messages from women, especially who are in business, who have been asking about this talk and have been really, really excited about hearing what Erica has to share today. There's been a Facebook announcement. I don't know if all of you have heard, but there are some changes going on with Facebook that will alter the algorithm a bit in terms of how we utilize Facebook, the posts that we're putting out there, and the type of engagement that we're receiving. So everything that Erica will be talking about today, she will actually be sharing about these changes and how it's going to affect how we use and how we engage on Facebook, which is pretty awesome because Facebook, everybody's on Facebook, mostly everybody. And if you run a business, I would hope that you're using Facebook to grow your audience and to reach your target market. All right, so I am just going in here, see if we can share this into the group. Technology is an amazing thing. However, sometimes it can be a bit challenging, just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to share this in the group. And I see Amanda Bennett's jumped on. Good morning. Hello, Amanda. How are you today? All right. Now we will jump right back over to here. Okay, wonderful. So I see some people are jumping on. If you're on and you're listening, say hello, say good morning. Where are you from? If you run a business, comment what type of business that you are in. I would love to hear. So at the end of this talk, you guys are actually going to be able to walk away knowing what's going to be best for your business. So we're going to touch on Facebook groups versus Facebook pages, the pros and cons of both. We're going to touch on Facebook ads and how to effectively use them. And we're actually going to be able to, I'm so excited for this part, we're going to actually be able to learn a little more about our audience insights and what that is, how we can use it, and how we're going to be able to leverage that to really grow within Facebook and ultimately grow our business by using this. And then also Erica's going to touch a little bit on content creation. So the type of content that we should be creating for our target audience. So who's excited? I want you guys to comment excited in the comments. Hey, Amanda Hansen, she just jumped on. You look great. Aw, you're sweet. I must have had you in my closet picking out outfits. All right, so I think that what we'll do is get this started, guys. And anybody who is not able to jump on live, you'll actually be able to catch the replay. It'll be up on the Facebook page as well as in the Facebook group. So be sure to check it out. And again, if you know anybody who would love to hear this talk, tag them in the comments, share it with your friends. All right, let's bring on Erica Waddell. Erica, we are going to bring you on, and thank you so very much for joining us today. Could you tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Hey guys, I am direct sales. This is how I got started in this. I'm a mother of 2 daughters, and I have a teenage stepson, and I'm really nervous to do this because unlike you guys, I suck at Facebook Live and hate it. But I have been just plugging away, trying to better understand Facebook to grow my business. And I see so many people need Facebook help. Nobody really knows what a powerhouse this platform is. And we all get bombarded with minor, minute things that at the end of the day really don't matter if you're not using it properly.
Totally, totally. So, Erica, I know you have a lot of stuff to cover in this talk today, and unfortunately, we only have you until 10:30. And then we also want to leave some room for anybody who wants to jump on and ask you some questions personally here in the comments. So, my first question to you is, what are the pros and the cons of a Facebook page versus a Facebook group? Because I know everybody's probably dying to know this. I know I am, because I use both. So, can you tell us?
I will. Having a page is the best thing about a page is you can represent yourself as a public figure, a business, or an organization. So it gives you that authentic presence that people know that you are a serious business, or perhaps you're a local celebrity or you're a speaker. People can really understand exactly what you do with your Facebook page. The page is visible to everybody, not just on Facebook, but on Google, or, you know, if you use Firefox or Safari, your page will come up in any search engine. You can customize your URL so it looks more professional when you put it on a business card, because every business in this day and age should have a professional Facebook page, and you want to have that URL represent your brand. It's much easier to search for a business with a Facebook page versus a group, because the group has to be spelt exactly the same, where when you use a page, it'll bring up suggestions. All of your posts, this is the most important thing. All of your posts on a Facebook page are spidered to Google. You want to come up in search engines. That's how we're discovered. That doesn't happen in a group. And the other good thing about it is you get a weekly update telling you how your post did, where your engagement was. They give you a rundown of how you performed that week, so you can make adjustments, you know, tweak and repeat, right? So if it's working good, you keep doing that. If your numbers are down, well, you can go back and look, like, why was it down, and make adjustments. Groups are great for small communications, for like common interests. So it's a great place to spread like brand loyalty. You can share opinions, like our yard sale sites. It's great to build like a type of community within a group. You can share photos, posts, all the same you can with the page, but you can have a custom URL. So when you go to put your group, if you're just running a group, you're going to have to put facebook.com/group/786, whatever. It just doesn't look as professional. The good thing about a group, though, is you can send mass messages and everybody receives notifications, which, you know, that's the struggle with a Facebook page. And that's why people resort to a group, because you know your members are seeing your content, right?
Right.
So they get that, they get that notification pop up and they know to go in and check it. But it's really hard to grow and expand your business with a group, because unless you're friends with somebody in that group, you're never going to see it. It's never going to show up in your news feed. There's no way to advertise it. There's no like internal Facebook insights, which you can when you use like a third party software to schedule your posts, but Facebook doesn't provide all the data the same as they do for a page.
That's interesting, because yeah, with the comparison of your data, because the more that I'm kind of researching about how to properly track everything, it's so important to track what posts are effective and which ones work and which ones don't work. So in terms of like the group versus the Facebook page, that, yeah, how you said that was very, very clear. I do have a question about the mass messages within the groups. Yeah. So you said you can send out mass messages. Can you explain a little bit more about what that means?
You can send a message out through Messenger to all of your group members.
Okay.
You can message everybody at once.
Okay.
Where you cannot do that with a Facebook page. You have no way to send them a message to say, hey, this event's going on.
Okay.
right?
Perfect.
So if they don't see it within their Facebook page, within your Facebook page, they won't see it. When you're sending out those messages, you get the notifications. You can see who has seen everything. And if somebody hasn't seen it, then you can say, hey, you missed this, right? Where you don't have that option with the page, unfortunately. And that's why everybody thinks their content's being seen more in a group, right? Because they can actually see that their followers are seeing it. But it's only ever going to be your followers that see it, instead of if you comment on somebody's page that could show up in, somebody you have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I have stuff that shows up all across the country and people will like my page and I don't know how it got there.
Okay.
Where if I had a group, that would not happen.
Gotcha.
Groups are great to provide additional support and to strengthen some of those relationships. But with a page, you're opening yourself up to a much broader audience. You're likely to discover more clients, which we all want, right? We want more people seeing our products, buying our services. But with a group, you're just limited to who is in there. And the other thing about groups, and if anybody has seen any of my posts, I hate this. Don't add me to a group. I don't like that you just have the option to add people. If I want to join a group, I will join a group. Please do not add me to a group, right? It takes away a bit of your sense of freedom. And then you feel bad when you leave a group if I don't really want to be here, but.
Absolutely. So I have a question for everybody who's watching, because I want to know if you're using a Facebook page or a Facebook group to grow your following, or are you using both? So if you're using any of the three or combination, I want you to just leave in the comments Facebook page, Facebook group, or both. For myself, I started Skype a lot using the Facebook group, right? Because I want to build a community of like-minded women who want to come together to help and support and grow. So that is basically where I started from, as opposed to starting with a page. I didn't start with a page until almost a year down the road into it. So I'm learning lots in between both and versus one or the other. So it's really interesting to know this, and it's really, really helpful too, in terms of being able to reach the masses, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing with you, Whitley, is you've built the sense of community, not really expecting it to evolve into what it's evolved into, right? So as your business grows, you need other professional channels to bring it all together. So what you're doing is fantastic. You're still providing information in the group, and everybody gets to comment and help each other, which is exactly what you want. Mm-hmm. And then you have the page where you can actually grow it and bring in new members from wherever who can also move into your community and continue the love and support that they get with inside it.
Right. So this brings me to my next question, because I know everybody's eager to know this as well, is are Facebook ads a waste of time? And ultimately, are Facebook ads a good way to promote your business? And if so, how can we effectively use those?
Well, if you saw last week or 2 weeks ago, Mark Zuckerberg actually made the big announcement that Facebook is now going to prioritize the news feed over, business posts, sponsored posts. So at this point, you definitely have to do ads if you want to stay on top and keep your audience engaged. Now, everybody is freaking out about this big change. Nobody's going to get their posts seen, but this change has actually started back in August and September. And if you have been advertising, you're going to see that your ad spend has increased and your reach has gone down. So unlike a lot of people with this, I'm super excited about this change. You're not going to be able to spend ads now to boost a post. If you're boosting posts or videos at this point, I highly recommend you stop, because they are not being prioritized. So what that means is, if they're going to actually boost your video, it's going to cost you more to get that video seen, and your audience is going to be smaller. So what you strategically, what you want to do is create content that your followers are going to engage with. This is what's going to show up in the newsfeed now. Facebook was built on community. So they want to see people interacting and talking and building relationships. So these are the kind of posts you're going to have to come up with to get your clients talking to you. And until you figure out what makes them talk, because some weeks it could be one thing, the next week it could be something else. But until you have some sort of like consistent engagement, don't spend money on ads because you're not going to be prioritized. You need, your number one focus right now needs to be figuring out how to get your audience to talk to you.
Love it.
So you do have to create ads to grow your business, but you have to make sure you have an engaging community or you're not going to be shown the way that you want to be.
Okay. So actually, and I have a question. The ladies here are commenting over here on the side. Now, Karen, she says, morning, should it be a page on its own or a page off your personal Facebook? So, and then I know that AJ, she had mentioned that using your personal profile is better than actually using a page because of like the lack of reach that you're getting. So can you touch on a little bit about that, Erica?
Yeah, don't do that. It absolutely violates Facebook's terms and conditions. So if you were ever to get caught doing that and somebody maybe reported you for promoting a business on your personal Facebook page, Facebook could shut you down, which in turn means you lose Facebook, you lose any business page you develop, you would lose those contacts. Now, people think, oh, I don't have that many people, I'm not doing that much business, it doesn't matter. I have known people that have landed in Facebook jail, and Facebook jail is not a place you want to be. It's really hard to get out of. So if you're doing that, I highly recommend you cease and desist. Create the post on your business page, share it to your personal page. It's still not going to get the same amount of reach, but it's better than being shut down. And if you're doing it consistently, you will eventually figure out how to get these people to talk to you, right? Your followers. And I don't know if you're like my friends and family on my personal page, they're not the ones that are going to buy from me.
Right.
So
right.
having the post spread further doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be put in front of my ideal clients, right? And that's what Facebook's doing right now is they're going to be looking at what kind of post you interact with. So your news feed is going to show up with more content that you are likely to engage with. I scroll through my feed now and I'm like, I don't know why I'm seeing some of these ads. Like, I don't have anything to do with them. They're just doing like a blank marketing, right? And I don't engage with them. So they are no longer going to show up in my news feed. Like, Facebook was really smart because they, wanted their marketing platform. That is their number one, that's their moneymaker, right? They're a marketing agency. So they really went back and asked, how do we keep our business owners happy and keep them marketing with us? Mm-hmm. But how do we keep people on our page? Because they don't want you leaving to go to someplace else. And, I think they really started looking at this as other social media channels come out, because they're not bombarded with all the business posts like Facebook has. And people have been leaving Facebook because they're just sick of the, random posts in their newsfeed. So if they design it now so your content gets sent automatically to people who are more likely to buy your stuff, your ad spend will go up some, mm-hmm. but the results are going to be, much higher.
Right. So, and I can actually relate to that, what you're saying too, Erica, because I've kind of tested some of these things too. And when I open my own personal news feed, everything, especially ad related things, are all like talking exactly my language. I'm like, how does she know this? Or how do they know this about me, kind of thing, right? It's almost like Google tracks what you search, or you know what I mean? Because it's all relevant.
And Facebook does too.
Right, but it's all relevant. Most of it is relevant to your likes and your needs, I guess. So anybody who's actually using Facebook ads to market their business, just comment yes if you have actually started using Facebook ads to grow your business. I just want to have an idea as to how many people are actually utilizing this feature and if it's working for them. So Erica, if we go on to how you can use ads effectively, and you were talking about it's really understanding what's going to make your audience talk, how can we incorporate audience insights in with that? Because we want to be able to track which posts are getting that engagement and what posts are working. So, and I believe that audience insights allows us to do that, right?
Right. So the first important thing is if you're creating ads, to make sure you're doing it in the ads manager. Don't do it off your page. You know, they show you can create an ad and boost this post. Don't do it off your page. It is not the same as utilizing the ads manager. So that's power tip number one. If you're boosting posts from there, which don't now, but if you were, you would have had probably a better result if you did it straight through the ads manager. So when you go into your audience insights, it gives you breakdown of your own audience. You can see the insights right on the top of your page, but I'm talking if you hit like the three little lines in the top left corner, there's an audience insights there. It will give you a rundown of pretty well every page on Facebook. So it shares the demographics, it shares spending habits, it shares location, it shares the top 100 page likes of that page's followers. So you can really drill down your audiences. And you can really, I use it, one, to create targeted ads for my ideal clients. But I also use it to try to make better content so I can find the gap where this audience isn't being served.
I have a quick question for you, because even though you were saying, okay, so it really breaks it down to all of these amazing, wonderful things to know about your audience. Do you have to pay for that feature, Erica?
No, it's free with your Facebook page.
Okay. Awesome.
And that's the thing with Facebook is you can get right to the final step and you can create different ad sets. So you can create campaigns. So say, Whitley, you wanted to do a campaign trying to attract other entrepreneurs into this group. So you would call it, Facebook group, whatever, right? So you're going to get them to go to your page and then join the Facebook group. But you can create different ads within that segment to target, like to track, to see what works, to see what doesn't. You can use different images, you can use different wording, and then you can see the cost, like the clicks and the cost breakdown, like per like. So it can get really finicky. You get lots of information, which is great, but it really makes it easier to know what's working and what isn't. And that's one thing that I find that people are always scared of, is actually testing. You can't guarantee a result. If somebody says they can guarantee you a result on this, they can't. You can get pretty good at figuring out what your cost probably will be, but a lot of it is trial and testing and reworking things. But that's what I personally love about Facebook. It's not like traditional advertising where you have to sign up to put an ad in the Yellow Pages or a magazine or a billboard where you play that flat fee for that set amount of time. You can put an ad up, let it run for an hour, 2 to 3 hours, a couple days. If you're testing to try to grow your audience, I would let it run for at least 48 hours and see what it does. If it's not doing what you want, you can go in and make changes. You can rechange the words, change an image, change the targeting. So it's more flexible that way to get in front of people, but you have to monitor it and you can't be afraid to test. And you don't get charged if it doesn't get shown.
I feel like this is a whole other world of its own. Like, I didn't even realize how in depth you could go with Facebook ads, and I didn't even know that you could go into a separate area to create your ads, the ads manager. So here, when I was creating any Facebook ads, I was doing it right from like the page. It didn't bring me into a whole separate other area of the ads manager. So even that, and going into the detail of your audience, I didn't even know this. And I'm curious, for everybody who's watching, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of this information did you know when it came to Facebook ads? I'm almost thinking this is a whole other talk on its own, is like Facebook ads itself and how to really use it. No, this is
amazing, the information that Facebook provides for free.
Right. But they want you to advertise, right? They want.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Possible so that you can advertise.
Right.
And I didn't really know this either. Okay, so if we go back to, I have one other question for you. If we go into content creation, so how can we create the content that is going to speak to our target audience?
So I would use those audience insights again, right? That's where I get, like, especially if you're creating graphics and things like that. So what I do is I don't ever advertise to my competitors, right? Like, that's not how I go about doing things. I don't think that, I've actually made you guys a video that you can sign up for after, but I use Mari Smith as an example. So a lot of people know Mari Smith. She's a huge social media expert. But what I do, I go into her page and I look to find where the gap is, where she isn't servicing the client. I spend a lot of time reading comments on their pages, on their posts, to try to identify the gap that I can fill. If they do a Facebook Live video, and I suck at this, but I will get better. If they do a Facebook Live video, I go back and I read the comments and see what questions didn't get answered, and then I try to address it. And whether it's, you go live to announce you've written a new blog post, or you have a special for your email subscribers, and if people want to subscribe, live video is by far your bread and butter. Like, even though it sucks, we all have to do it. And then recorded video would be second, and then either posts or text, photographics or text posts are your next. But you will get further reach with those live videos. And if you just study your competitors and find where that gap in service is, because everybody has a gap. If you watch one of their videos, what do you wish they would have said, right? And if you start filling that need. So in the videos that I made for you guys, I look at Mari Smith's, the income range for her ideal people, and most of them are like $150,000 to $250,000 a year. But the people that make $40,000 to $50,000, they're declining on her page. So there's something about them that isn't being serviced. So it's almost like she gets to know too much, and they need to go back to basics, right? So it's, how do you address this? How do you help these people? And then start creating content. And I really try to pay attention to, when you're doing your live videos and making your text posts, that you are using the same sort of wording that you use on your website. Because Facebook spiders, you want to make sure your SEO, which stands for search engine optimized, if people don't know that, but your keywords are relatively the same. So you want to kind of be saying the same sort of words, so Google gets to know what you talk about. And the more you post, the more they recognize you, the more they come back and spider your page more often. So it's really important to be consistent in your wording across all your social channels. But finding the gap, using those insights to figure out what is missing.
Gotcha. So really, it kind of comes down to, it's pretty simple. So it really comes down to just making sure that your brand, your message, and everything that you're putting out is consistent across the board, and it's engaging to your audience, right?
Yeah.
And if, for an example, I can give an example with Skype. So most, if not all of the posts that I create are engaging in some way. So either my captions are engaging because they're asking a question, or the post, the graphic itself is an engaging a post. So it's all about conversation. And I find that the more that there's conversation in the post that I create, the higher the reach is, right? But if there isn't a whole lot of people commenting or, engaging, then that post reach is so little. So really, it just comes down to creating those engaging long posts, keeping your SEO consistent so that you're found in Google. Yeah, and utilizing your audience insights so that you can know your audience a whole lot better and filling that gap.
Yeah, and it becomes kind of more important now than ever to support your local business owner, right? If you see somebody posting, trying to, or they're out there hustling, leave them a comment. It doesn't take any amount of time. People don't, I don't know, people will scroll by and you'll think about it. Oh, that's awesome. Good for her. You'll send a message. Don't send a message. Help her out. Drop a comment, right?
It's like, so true.
just drop comments everywhere.
So, Erica, that basically, so we covered everything. I know that there are lots of messages here in the comments. So I'm going to open this up for anyone who has some questions for Erica and some of the things that she's talked about, or even if you have some other questions, even like kind of burning to ask, feel free to do so right now. We'll take a few minutes to dive into some Q&As, and then we'll end it with a little bit of a giveaway that Erica has for all of you. All right, so let's see. We will go in. I'm just going to kind of go back a little bit and see. Let's see. The longest pause ever. How's everybody enjoying that snow out there in St. John, New Brunswick? It's
yeah.
I'm
relieved that my kids are quiet.
It's funny because Erica and I were talking about how school was canceled today, so we had to figure out what we were going to do with our kids. The mom struggle is real, especially when you live in Canada in the winter time. All right,
and of course, this is the first snow day of the year.
Yeah. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free, ask away. I have like a whole bunch of things here. I'm just trying to find a question. Lots of comments. AJ, you have lots to say here. Let's see. So I know AJ had some things about, she was saying some things about your Facebook page versus your profile page and how some other like real estate agents and different types of people use both and do quite well. And then we have Kelly Etheridge here. Hey girl, so she says, any tips for better engagement in a private group or your specialty public only?
It really would be the same. Like engagement, right? If you're posting and people aren't responding, then they're probably not interested in the information that you're putting out, or not that they're not interested, but it's not positioned the right way. What you could do is put a post up and ask them to comment what kind of information that they would like you to share. One of the cool things with groups is you can actually run polls to see what people are interested in, where you can't do that with a Facebook page, right? So I wouldn't be scared to ask them what kind of information that they're looking for and try to better serve them that way. And even though you're running a group, you can still go into audience insights. You don't have to necessarily run a Facebook page for that. You can go in and you can look at people who are providing similar information that you're providing and use those insights the same way.
Okay, and so I have another question from Courtney Sayer. She says, do you find that you can overpost on your page?
No. Coke didn't get rich putting their advertising on once or twice a day, right? If you think that only 2% of your page followers see your posts, the more you post, the better you will do. And if people are engaging, that's even more important, right? If you're putting posts up and nobody's seeing them, then you could post 15 times a day and still nobody's going to see them. We all have this fear that we're going to harass people and we don't want to pressure them. And no, just keep posting. But that being said, I wouldn't post specifically about your product all the time. Depending what you do, you could talk about food, you could talk about other things that interest you. You should only be posting product specific 10 to 20% of the time. It's not buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's you're trying to build a relationship with them, right? So share yourself with them. If you've got kids, share some pictures of your kids. Or not everybody likes to share pictures of their kids, but they say the darndest things. Share something funny that they said. Or if you go shopping, like take people along with you. Like if you're looking for a new shirt, take a picture of it and ask people on your page whether you buy it or not. It doesn't really matter, but if that's what you're interested in, you can totally do that.
And also, and I have a question as well, Erica. So when it comes to your Facebook page, is it okay to be able to take people behind the scenes and to allow them to kind of like, peek into your life behind, everything?
I would totally do that. Like, people want to know that it's not perfect. Like, if you could see my living room right now, it's not perfect and it's real. And, that's why like most of these brand influencers have so many people following them, is because it's real life. So we are in a society now where we share everything. So just share everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't see any other questions, so we're going to wrap this up. But before we go, Erica, if you could just take a moment and share with everybody what you have.
I made you guys a couple videos, and you'll have to excuse some of the lighting. But anyway, I'm not a professional video maker. This is real behind the scenes stuff. But I made a couple of videos walking you through audience insights, and I actually show you how I would break down an audience. That's video 1. And then video 2 is there's a feature in your insights on your business page that you can select 5 pages to watch. And it will show you, like, you can go in and see what kind of posts that are getting the most engagement from them and try to copy it, like tweak and repeat. I mean, don't copy it word for word. We're not plagiarizing anything here. But when you start looking at what your competitors' followers are responding to, you can kind of start to like up your game, right? Like you can see their top posts and then go to their page and check out what other things they're doing. And anyway, so we'll drop the link. You just have to subscribe and those emails will be sent to you. They are on Vimeo, so both of them are password protected, just because I didn't want to share them with everybody. And the password's Skypeable, and that's in the email that you receive too. So you can get those and watch how you go in and break down all the fun stuff.
Thank you so much, Erica. I'm super excited for that because I was thinking when you were talking about the ads insights and your ads manager and your audience insights, I know we didn't have a visual there to actually see how it works. So yeah. Thank you so much for putting those videos together for all of us too.
And maybe, subscribe. I'll do another one about the ads manager and show you how you can break it down.
Awesome. So ladies, I'm going to pop that link into the comments just after this video's ended. And then also, if you want to get in contact with Erica and ask any more questions, I'm going to pop her information in the link as well, so you can reach out and ask any questions that you may have. Erica, thank you so very much again for sharing all of this. This is wonderful, very helpful. Excited to take this and use it and start testing some ads.
Yeah, and once you guys start to get better and grow your audience, we'll come back and show you how you can market to lookalike audiences, which will really reduce your ad spend and drive up your profits.
Yes, love it. And also, ladies, don't forget, we'll be coming out with some more Skypeable talks. It's kind of grown into the Skypeable Talk show, where we'll be bringing on more people with personal and business development talks. So if you are interested in hearing more of these talks, be sure to subscribe, and I will pop that link into the comments as well. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day today. Stay safe out there if you're in St. John in the snow. And we will see you soon. Bye, guys.